you do every
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Live Game Season 3, Episode 2. This is the average man's perspective on football. I am your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Brian, say what up, Brian.
Thanks for joining us.
And Mark, say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. Help us get these views up. Also catch us on Instagram at Official Live Game, and also on Twitter at the Live Game 3.
Yes.
Live Game 3. Brian is hosting tonight. Go ahead, Brian, get us started.
Also, we're on Facebook too. At Delay Game on Facebook as well.
Yeah,
It's right here on the paper too, isn't it?
Is it? I wasn't reading paper.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But thank you guys for joining us on a Tuesday evening. Normally you guys are with us on Wednesdays, but due to some technical delays, we are going to do our show today. Get into it real quick, fellas.
Hold on, sorry, Brian. Get that off the screen right now.
That's pertinent information. That's pertinent
No,
information.
that's fine. I mean, it's a 1 week thing. Let him enjoy his time. Congratulations to that. What are they called?
The
WTF. Yeah, WTF. Good job. The other 3 teams need some work.
Okay.
Word. It's just instrumental.
It's just in the middle. I took the words out.
Okay, we played if it's just instrumental, but if he says that other word, that racist word, we can't have it.
Well, go ahead and get us started, Brian.
So we're gonna get into the show. We're gonna have a quick talk about some of the hot topics that went on last week during the game and after the game. And then after we get that, we're gonna talk about our picks from last week. And then when we get through with that, we're going to talk about our the next picks for next week. So let's go ahead and get this started. Anybody had anything big going on? Seen any crazy things last week while we were watching football?
Any crazy things?
Yeah,
I was very impressed by some things.
it looked better than I expected it to.
Yeah,
considering there was no preseason games. I thought teams looked pretty good, actually.
Yes.
There were a couple of upsets that I was very surprised at. The Cardinals beating the 49ers. I don't think anybody called that one.
You know what? There were a couple people that were saying that because, they played them hard the last 2 games last year, too.
Yeah, they did. Now, that could be a result from, no preseason games. Some teams just a little bit, just a little bit on top of things better than others, too. So,
but they play each other. They play in a division, so it's always hard when you play 2 teams that play each other twice a year. It's always a good challenge. It's always a good match.
That is very true. And they're a coming on team. Everybody kind of give them a little slight, but I think that division is one of the toughest divisions in the NFL right now.
Absolutely. Especially with the Seahawks in there and the 49ers.
But especially if the Cardinals take a step, like if they take a step forward, which I don't know that they will, but yeah, like you said, Seattle, 49ers, Cardinals, and then we saw the Rams. They came out looking good too. So.
Yeah. So what do you guys, speaking of the Rams, what do you guys think about that Jalen Ramsey contract? 5 years, $105 million extension, $71.2 million guaranteed, made him the highest paid corner in the league.
More like the highest paid actor in the league.
Yeah, Oscar winner, Oscar nominee. I guess we're going to talk about that game.
Yeah,
but
we're definitely going to have a conversation about that.
If you look at it when they play it in slow motion, you can before they even call the flag, before he even catches the ball, you can see him like doing the Matrix.
Right.
Like this.
But it was smart because the ref that threw it was behind the play. That threw the flag.
Yeah,
So
he was.
he saw was him doing that and from the back, and it looked like that Gallup pushed off. So I mean, you can't knock him for the hustle. You know, it was a bogus call, but nonetheless, he played it off.
Yeah, that was
I mean, how many times we see quarterbacks acting like they got face masked or got slammed down and all this other stuff flopping?
Right.
Yeah, that was definitely an Oscar-winning performance. You think he was a soccer player instead of a football player?
Yeah, but they backed up that Brinks truck, huh? What do you think? Was he worth it, Mark?
I thought we talked about this last week.
Yeah, I was ready to say. I think that's what Mark was. Yeah, we did talk about these
just keep talking
contracts.
about it. Let's talk about it again.
I mean, we knew he was going to get paid. You know, he made him the highest paid cornerback out of 5. So yeah, we knew it was coming. The other 4 that was in there was Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Patrick Peterson, and Tre'Davious White. So we knew when they traded for him, we knew they would have to pay. They're going to pay him the money.
What's great about it is with Hopkins going to Arizona, we still get to see them go against each other 2 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see as good as Hopkins looked on Sunday. We'll see how it stands out when they play each other, whether he earns that money or not. Because now it looks like that's the reason. I mean, he don't get paid no matter where he went, but that's one good reason giving him big money is to beat the best wide receiver in your division, and that's definitely gonna be Hopkins. So we'll see. We'll see how he stands up against Hopkins.
Yeah, that's true. They did. They had to. They really had to keep him after that trade went down. I mean, you're going to face one of the best receivers in the league, not just their division, but one of the best, receivers in the league. And you have one of the best corners in the league to lock that down. So, and if not, he can always act like he had a pass interference call.
I was like, you a little salty about that one, a little salty baby.
Yeah, no. I mean, that was a big play in the game, but there were a lot of big plays in the game. There are a lot of big plays in this. I mean, it wasn't the only one. There was another pass interference call. What was the game?
It was Cincinnati and
yes, with AJ Green in the end zone.
Yeah. And they would have won that game had it stood, right? Cincinnati would have won that. Yeah.
He caught it and tapped his 2 toes down and was a touchdown. That would have won the game. And that was a good game too. I mean, Cincinnati showed me a little something, that they may have made the right decision with that first round draft pick.
Joe Burrow looked really good from some of the highlights I saw, but I did get to catch that last drive where they were driving. He looked poised. He actually looked comfortable running the offense. So if they can put a team around him, and I mean he does have one of the best wide receivers in the league when he's healthy. We might see more from Cincinnati than in a few years than you may be expecting. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cincinnati leapfrog Cleveland.
Why would that be a surprise?
I could definitely see that.
Because Cleveland's supposed to be loaded, and Cleveland has the veteran.
Right.
Well, I mean, not really a veteran, but this is Baker Mayfield's 4th year?
Yeah.
If shoulda and coulda would be money, we'd all be rich.
That's true. They brought up a stat too that this is Baker Mayfield's 4th NFL head coach.
Yeah, and like 5th offensive coordinator or something like that.
Is crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
And did y'all see that touchdown that Burrows ran in? He looked real good in that one too.
He did. He's definitely he may be the real deal. We'll see. I mean, one game doesn't make your career, but he's starting off good.
Absolutely, definitely is. So a couple other things that we had going on there. There were a couple signings. Dalvin Cook, he got his deal finally. It was an extension, but it's a total of 5 years, $63 million. He played pretty well last week, even though Minnesota lost. Cooper Kupp, he kind of showed up Sunday night against the Cowboys. 3 years, $48 million. What do you guys think about it, Marcus?
I mean, Cooper Kupp is a good signing. He's been an essential part of that offense in Los Angeles for the Rams. Dalvin Cook, That's a good sign as well. You know, he's a good running back. They need a good running back. So I mean, both are good signings. I both bring lots of value to the teams they're on. So I don't think anything bad can be said about those signings.
Yeah, I think Cup's signing may be a little early, but it may be smart because if he has a blow up year this year, he possibly could have commanded more money, coming up next year. So he, like you said, he's been kind of a solid staple for them in the receiving game. So it's always smart to sign your players early, and if you can get a little bit less, pay him a little bit less money. So, and then of course,
this year or last year he got hurt? I'm sorry, not this year. Was it last year or another year where he got hurt?
I can't remember, but I remember he was one.
It was last year, wasn't it?
It might have been last year, and then the year before that, he had a really good year, didn't he?
Yeah, that Super Bowl year. He was there Super Bowl year, right? He had a really good year that year.
Yeah. So it makes sense to get him signed, and then of course Dalvin Cook. I mean, it's just what the market's commanding for running backs right now, and you don't want to get that into that situation where you got that holdout going on, or you got disgruntled between the organization and the player, and it looked like that's where they were getting ready to start heading down that road. So they went ahead and got him done. I think he showed up Sunday. He had 2 touchdowns. Yeah. So I think it was worth it.
Cooper Kupp, did y'all notice he changed his number from 18 to 10?
Yes. Yeah. They actually talked about it on the broadcast.
Yeah, when he first came out, I was like, "Who in the world is number 10?" It was like Cooper Kupp. Yeah, that was the number he had in college, so he always wanted to wear it. Another teammate had it, so I think it was good. It was time. It was good for him. And then Cook wanted to. He always wanted to be in Minnesota. He was glad to be there. So they appreciate him signing them, after that draft 2017. So I think both signings was worth it.
Yeah, only just a little concerned with both of them a little injury prone. Cook a lot more than Kupp, but if he stays healthy, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
So the other hot topic we were going to talk about a little bit was linebacker Isaiah Wilson. Rookie linebacker Isaiah Wilson was arrested on DUI charges. Reports was that he was driving his car, was doing donuts in the road, all kinds of craziness. Kind of young and dumb, but I mean, it cost him a lot. What do you guys think, Mark?
Yeah, you talking about young and I don't know what to say about him. He took a breathalyzer test. He ended up testing 0.07 and 0.13. The legal limit is 0.8. So he was well beyond the higher tolerance level. He also had a little run-in when he was in college in Tennessee State. He went to some party and he was contemplating about jumping off like a second floor, third floor balcony. We also got a ticket or a citation for trespassing. But he's a young guy who needs to really settle down and needs to stop all this foolishness.
Herman?
Yeah, I mean, just with everything that's going on right now, with NFL trying to get this season in under COVID and stuff, and then you want to go out there and do some stupid stuff like this. I mean, young players, they do dumb things. Hopefully he'll learn from this. He can move on and you won't see his name come up again. But somebody on that team, maybe he's take him under their wing and just kind of give him some guidance. I don't know if these younger players get enough of that from some of the veterans.
Yeah, we wish him the best. Hope he makes better decisions in the future, but not a very good look. So we're gonna go ahead and keep the show rolling. We're gonna go through our picks from last week. Have a quick chat up about how well we did, how bad we did, a couple of highlights and what we thought were good about the games. So Thursday night was a big night last week. It kicked the NFL season off. The Houston Texans went down to Kansas City to play the Super Bowl defending Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs ended up winning 34-20. couple notes in the game. Watson was 20 for 32 for 253 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Mahomes, kind of for real for Mahomes, pedestrian numbers, 24 out of 32, but he did throw 3 touchdowns. The big surprise in the game was the rookie running back from Kansas City, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, ran 25 times for 138 yards and scored a touchdown.
Averaging 5.5 yards a carry.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. So, Mark, what did you think about it? Who'd you pick, and what do you think?
I took Kansas City on this particular game. Took them a little while, but the first quarter to get it going, get it started. But I thought that their newfound running back. I mean, he showed some things, man. I think he's gonna be great for that offense. Like I say, they already had plenty of arsenal there. He doesn't do anything but add more to that offense. So I thought it was a good look for him. I took Kansas City and they were successful. They won it.
Herman.
Yeah, I went with Kansas City also, and like Mark said, as if Kansas City's offense wasn't dangerous enough. Now they got a running back. So I mean, it's like it's gonna be pick your poison. You bring 8 in the box, you're getting beat deep by Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins. You bring those safeties back, and then you got to deal with this running back who's popping off 5.5 yards a carry. I don't see how they don't repeat. The only way that, in my opinion, that Kansas City gets derailed is injuries. I think that's the only thing that's going to slow them down at this point. Their offense is potent. Now their defense still looked like it needed some work. It did okay. I mean, they had Deshaun Watson running for his life, but behind that Texas line, that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
So, I can't really make a full judgment off of that Kansas City defense from that, but I will say it still needs some work.
Yeah, I picked Kansas City in this game as well. It went as planned. I mean, it was no real mystery in this game who was going to win. The Texans did go up early. They had David Johnson. He ran 11 times for 77 yards and a touchdown. Started to look good. We, questioned, maybe he's the Johnson of old, but they just couldn't stop Mahomes. Mahomes and the Chiefs offense did what they wanted when they wanted. Helaire ran wide open because there was never an 8-man box at all, ever. Watkins was actually big in this game. He had 7 balls for 82 yards and a touchdown. And then there was a nice little stat that I didn't realize that Watson in opening season games is 0-3. And the quarterbacks that he's lost to was Brady, Breeze, and Mahomes.
Wow.
Interesting.
Marcus?
Well, just like the rest of y'all, I picked Kansas City to win this game. And, like I've already said, they seem to have a running back now. And, and they were already deadly without that. With an actual running back now, they're even more deadly. And we haven't even seen if he can catch out of the backfield. If he can catch out of the backfield as well, he can rush the ball.
Do that too.
Well,
he can do that too.
Then it's just over for everybody. And the Texans, they did a good job at shutting down Tyreek Hill for the most part. He only had 5 receptions, 46 yards. But you see what happened. Everybody else blossomed. Kelsey blossomed. The running back blossomed. Watkins really blossomed. So even if you shut down, their main speed threat, they got other people they can go to, and that's just bad news for everybody. I actually hate watching the Texans play the Chiefs because like I said, I'm a huge Deshaun Watson fan. I just hate him. I hate to see him going through what he's going through with this stupid man GM and coach, and you give away his best receiver, and pretty much every missed pass, every missed reception for that game that he threw, I was like, my first instinct was Hopkins would have caught that, and he would have. And it's just sad that we got like a top 5 quarterback in the league, and he's probably not going to have a whole lot of success. Under the situation he's in, it's It's just sad. I just really feel sorry for him. He'll get paid, yes, but you know,
I don't see Bill O'Brien making it out of this year unless they do something. And watch for Eric Bieniemy to go to Houston.
The only issue with that is that they're not just firing the coach; they're firing the general manager as well.
They need to.
They're going to find two.
They need to.
Yeah, but he should never be the general manager in the first place.
This is true. They kind of dug this ditch, so I think they kind of stuck with him for a while.
Yeah, I think this definitely going to be a sink or swim for him.
It's definitely a sink or swim year.
Yep.
Especially when you get rid of one of the top receivers in the league.
And he has no offensive line. He's running around just as much as Russell Wilson is. I mean, it's ridiculous.
You should have got some offensive line for that receiver that you gave away. So
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna skip the next game and move on to Pittsburgh.
No, we ain't.
No, we're not.
You would go to the game.
We're gonna skip the next game.
We're gonna go to that game.
All right, we're gonna talk for a couple seconds about Dallas going down to the LA Rams' brand new $5 billion stadium.
It looks just like a $1 billion stadium.
Yeah, with no fans, so it was kind of quiet in there. But the Rams ended up winning victoriously, 20-17. Game was close. Defenses was really not on the field for either team for the most part. Total yards for the Cowboys were 380. Total yards for the Rams was 422.
Really? Don't even seem like they did that much.
Yeah. Stars on the Rams side was Malcolm Brown, 18 yards, 18 times for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns. Zeke ran for 22 times for 96 yards and a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown. I mean, he got caught a pass and had a touchdown in that game. Tough game for the Cowboys to lose. There was some questionable calls in there that we're going to go over too. But let's get it started. I'll go first. I picked the Rams. I was not happy about this game. And to be honest with you, in like the first and second quarter, if they threw another damn screen or to the other side and the Cowboys defense wasn't there, I was going to pull all my hair out. I did not think that we were going to win this game. I thought that it was going to get worse. It did get close. A couple questionable calls. McCarthy not tying the game up late in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Early in the fourth quarter.
Was that when he went for the fourth down? And
fourth down.
Short?
Yeah.
Okay.
Threw a slant pass to our new rookie, and he was a yard short. Then near the end of the game, there was a questionable pass interference call, which we kind of brought up earlier. Nonetheless, I mean, the Rams offense looked like it's clicking without their old running back. So, what's 99?
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald is a beast. Make sure that one play where he pushed the offensive line out of the way, grabbed Zeke, and basically body slammed Zeke on his way to the quarterback. So he is definitely in prime form for them and ready to do his thing. Marcus, who did you pick? Who cares who you picked? Let's talk about something else. No,
I picked the Cowboys. I was really shocked to see the Rams playing like they were playing. It's funny to see how they play. They don't really. I mean, they do a lot of bootlegs, a lot of play action. I guess that what gave them success to get in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and it just. When you really look and watch it, I mean, it seemed like that's all they were doing with the little screens, little short passes. It didn't seem like what's the quarterback's name? Goff. Really added out that much. That's why I'm surprised that here they got 422 total yards. To me, it was a close game, and just like you said, Brian, that was a very cool. It wasn't a questionable pass interference call. It was the wrong call to make. Period. He did not extend his arm. Gallup did not extend his arm. What's his name? Ramsey?
Yeah, Ramsey.
Yeah, he did a great acting job. But if you think about it, it was the new $5 billion stadium. It was on primetime TV. And, I don't know. I'm kind of think the fix was in on that one. And as far as that fourth down call, I don't have a problem with that fourth down call. It was a shallow cross play. Lamb, he could have made that first down. The defense really played that play well.
He did. That corner played perfect.
I don't fault McCarthy at all for doing that. Up until that point, it seemed like the Rams have been walking up and down the field.
Mm-hmm.
He felt like that he should have, get some momentum going. I think that was close to the end of the half, right?
I want to say it was like the third
No,
quarter.
third quarter, I think.
Third quarter. But it seemed, Rams was walking up and down the field. I don't fault him at all for that. Lamb could have gotten that play. It just sometimes plays go your way, sometimes plays don't. That defender he played that perfectly. He played it perfectly. The only complaint I got about that is I forget there's a commentator who says all the time. I don't know why when a first down play you don't go to the first down marker.
It's because the route that he was running, actually when you go back and watch it, it was crossers, I believe it was. And he was the underneath crosser. So he couldn't go deeper because the other crosser didn't go deeper. Okay. So his route was more shallow. So that's because I thought the same thing too until I watched a couple of replays of it, and then I saw why he didn't go deeper.
Not only that, but it was supposed to be like a quick catch and run. The DB was supposed to get caught up in the wash.
Yeah, ball placement wasn't that good either. I'm not putting it on Dak, but if that ball is a little bit more out in front of CD, he may be able to catch that and stretch his body across the first down marker too. The ball was a little bit behind him. So
yeah, but like I said, I think the defender he just played that extremely.
He did. He did.
If they run that same play, I would say 9 out of 10 times they'll probably make that first down.
Yeah, he didn't get caught in the wash like you usually would, and I think that's because the other crosser did not go deep enough. Yeah.
And I just want to say that before the game started, I asked the three of y'all who should I start my fantasy, Gallup or Lamb, and Lamb would have got me. I won anyway, but Lamb would have got me the most fantasy points.
He got more than Gallup?
Yes.
If Gallup had got that catch, he wouldn't have.
True.
Right. Right.
True.
And tell Holder, how many points are we talking?
I had to check, but it was a hey, every point counts a fantasy.
Gallup only had
Don't answer some fantasy advice. Why do you have 2 Cowboys on your team anyway?
Because I don't play with my heart. I play to win.
Lamb only had like 59 or 69 yards, I think.
Yeah, I don't think either one gave me that many.
He had like 5 catches though. So,
Mr. Parker, how did you feel about this game?
Okay, so Lamb got me 12.9 points. Gallup got me 8. That's a huge difference. That's 4 points. Yeah.
All right, well, next time start Lamb.
Just do the opposite of what we said.
Yeah, do the opposite of what we tell you. Rookie runner, wide receiver in his first game, we're supposed to tell you, oh, yeah. Yeah, he's going to be the best one.
Well, he was. Go ahead, Mark.
I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
All right. As I was going to say, and it was great seeing them open up this new stadium. It was just weird with no crowd, no fans in there. I thought the Rams came out. They came out moving the offense pretty good. I thought that the big turnaround to me was that the third down play that McCarthy called, and they with right before half, and they could have got the momentum and so forth, and they didn't get it. But I think the biggest telltale for me was Cowboys was 3-17, or 3-12 on third down efficiency, and that played a lot as far as keeping the ball moving and getting downfield. I took the Cowboys in this game, and of course they lost. I don't think I'm choosing the Cowboys no more this season.
Nobody asked you all that.
I mean, if you want to pick a lot of losing games, then go right ahead. I hope you don't pick the
Cowboys. They're going to be Atlanta next week.
Yeah, but we ain't picking that game.
Okay.
Herman?
Yeah, I went with the Cowboys, of course. It was – I don't know. They were outcoached. I mean, McVay had the perfect game plan in place to keep our pass rush off of Goff. He got the ball out of his hands quick. I mean, anywhere from 2 to 3 seconds, the ball was gone. And the defense was always out of position. I expected to see more from the defense and didn't. The offense, I'm not worried about. Dak looked good. Zeke looked good. Play calling wasn't as creative as I would like to have seen it. I think Kellen Moore needs to realize that McCarthy has given you the reins. You need to open it up. You're not under Jason Garrett anymore. Let's not call the plays like you are. So, offensive wise, I think Dallas is okay. Defense has got a lot still to prove, and then they had major injuries on both sides of the ball. Van Der Esch, the middle linebacker, he's out for 6 to 8 weeks with a collarbone, and lost the starting tight end Blake Jarwin. So offensively, they can make up for that. Defensively, they got a lot to do.
All right, so since y'all made me go to this game, now we can end it. Talk about the next game, which really I don't want to talk about either. But the Pittsburgh Steelers entertained the New York Giants down at MetLife Stadium last night, as a matter of fact. We were all up chatting about it on text about this particular game. We're not going to get any commentary from Mr. Parker because we don't want to hear it. Matter of fact, we're going to start this one.
You're going to hear
this one off with Herman. Herman, how did you pick the game?
So I picked the Steelers, of course. The Giants are trash. Being a Cowboys fan, watching the Giants offense was like watching the Cowboys offense from last year. I kid you not. I felt so bad for Saquon Barkley. I think Barkley had six yards. Daniel Jones had finished the game with more rushing yards than Barkley did. That's crazy. That's crazy.
He averaged 0.4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I mean their offensive line was leaking all night. The offense looked stale. It was not creative. You could just see the Jason Garrett hand in that offense. And as long as he continues to do that, they are going to be bad. Pittsburgh looked good. Ben's back. He's doing the same old thing, holding the ball too long, taking sacks he shouldn't be taking. But he's throwing the ball too, and he's making plays. I give him his credit for that too. The defense looked really good, but how much of that was because the Giants' offense looked so bad? So you gotta take the good with the bad with that one. But looking at that game last night, Pittsburgh looks pretty good. Ben, get rid of the ball a little bit quicker, or that elbow is going to be in a sling again.
All right, so I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game, and they did 26-16. Roethlisberger, like Herman said, was pretty efficient. Finally, it took him a couple quarters to get warmed up, maybe like a quarter and a half, but he ended up 21 and 32 for 229 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, that's pretty efficient. They also lost their running back Connor in the game, but they had a complimentary running back named Snell who ran 19 times for 113 yards.
Benny
Even
Snell.
Juju,
I said Benny Snell, isn't it? Benny Snell.
yeah. Even Juju got into the game, caught a couple touchdown passes from Ben, 69 yards. Like Herman said, the Giants defense was doing pretty decent in the first couple quarters, but then once that offense on the Steelers got rolling, it wasn't those contests. And the offense for the Giants was okay. I mean, I seen like some flashes for the Danny Dimes. He had some nice balls and they had some nice catches, and then it just they had that one drive. I think it was like 70 or 80 yards. They got all the way down there, and then
it was a 19-play drive.
19-play drive, and should have got some yards, but Danny Dimes standing there and he runs to the left and then he's trying to throw back and not paying attention to the DB or the linebacker, wasn't it?
Yeah. But that's a typical.
He should have threw it to the side to try to throw it into the end zone.
Exactly, to the back of the corner.
And it was like, I mean, that's just a backbreaker right there. You do all that effort, all that energy against this pretty good defense, to get no points.
It's a typical Jason Garrett offense, though. Yeah. They'll drive you down the field, get in the red zone, and nothing happens. They stall. I'll be here all year too with the Jason Garrett.
The other little bright spot that the Giants can kind of hang their hat on is their rookie wide receiver Darius Slayton. He caught 6 balls for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game. But after like the third, fourth quarter, it was all Pittsburgh. So I picked Pittsburgh. I picked it right, but I'm not happy about it. All right, Mark, go ahead and finish us up.
Oh no, I didn't go.
Skip Marcus, yeah.
Why did Marcus go? I'm tired of talking about this game.
Yeah, I picked the Steelers. I actually thought, like I said, the first half, I felt like the Steelers. I mean, the Giants' defensive line was really shutting down the run game, but that might have been just because of who was running Connor at that point. As soon as he went over the Snell, he opened it up and ran down the damn throat.
That's true though.
I just like you said, bro. I just feel like Daniel Jones. And he had some bright points. There was a couple of plays I was very, very impressed with. Like you said, that who does 19 play drive? That just seemed like you did all that for nothing.
Jason Garrett.
They did. It's exactly what it was.
It's like it's the football equivalent of having blue balls. Is what
Really?
Worst case too is I think they took like 7 or 8 minutes off the clock.
That is a Jason Garrett offense, Brian. I don't know why you acting like you're surprised.
Oh no.
But it was good to see Big Ben back in form. I just find it funny on the sideline. It seemed like they had took I guess one of those coats where you can unzip the
They wanted to
sleeve.
keep his arm. They want to keep his arm warm. So they took a sleeve off a coat.
I mean, man, that's all that NFL money. That's the best you can come up with.
Look, took one of Bill Belichick's sleeves and said, "You brought that."
I mean, come on, y'all. Y'all been around a long time. I got one more than that. Go ahead.
Hey, look, obviously
They can't even afford 2 envelopes. Come on,
Yeah,
they got to afford a
Hey.
helmet. So
Hey,
I felt like it was a great game. Pittsburgh. Just one game, but they appear to be back. But right now it's still Baltimore's division, so they got a lot to make up.
All right, Mark, talk fast.
all right. On this particular game, of course, I took the Steelers. I thought Ben he started off a little bit slow, but I think he had a pretty good game overall. Just kind of got a little bit of worry when Deontay Johnson muffed that punt and ended up getting it into Steelers territory, but the defense came alive. They stopped him, made him settle for field goal, and that was it. And then the drive that the Giants had, the 19-play drive, they should have scored, but that lollipop pass he threw up. If the defensive lineman didn't get it, you had 4 other people there that was going to catch that ball. So I thought that the Giants showed a little bit of flashes with Daniel Jones, but the Steelers were victorious with that defense. So I was happy with it. I took the Steelers.
Also, another thing to note is Juju. He was targeted 6 times, caught all 6 receptions. That's pretty impressive.
And another thing, Ben threw the ball around a lot. I think he hit like 9 different wide receivers throughout that game.
Yeah, what was that other wide receiver, Johnson? Was his name Johnson?
Dante Johnson.
Yeah,
also the rookie had a nice little toe tap on the sideline too.
he did.
Claypool. It was a nice.
Claypool,
so their receivers, they got some stars in the making now. They got some stars.
All right, so now we can stop talking about that game and talk about a better game. The other Monday night game, the late game, was Tennessee going to, I guess it's not Mile High anymore, right?
It's Empower Field or something.
Okay. They play the Broncos. The Broncos, who were, depleted defensively. But it actually was, a fairly close contest. Broncos did end up losing ultimately 16-14. But the Titans didn't look as good as I thought they were going to.
They did not.
Marcus, how'd you pick this game, and what did you think?
I picked the Titans. I was expecting a much bigger point discrepancy, especially with with Denver being without Von Miller. But like you said, it was a close game, and it was also a very boring game. I just wanted to sleep. It was so boring, and like you said, I expected Derrick Henry, he did get it though. He got a 31 carries for 116 yards, but he only averaged like 3.7 yards a carry. It was just it seemed like it was like a 1940s football game. It was just boring, bunch of defense, and just I picked Tennessee, they won, but other than that, I could have done without that game. only watched it because I knew we was going to talk about it tonight.
Mark, how did you like the game?
Well, from what I can remember, because I think I fell asleep on this one too. I know the kicker struggled for Tennessee.
Stowski.
He missed an extra point. He missed 3 other field goals. So I think he's got to be watching. He's been looking over his shoulder for getting another kicker to replace him. But I thought towards the end of the game there was a little bit of controversy, a little crazy call. But didn't somebody get ejected in this game too?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, the Titans starting middle linebacker.
Yeah, he
punched
got
one of the
ejected.
Broncos and got ejected.
That's right, he did. Okay, yeah, because
Early in the game.
somebody else got ejected from the Detroit game. I was thinking about that game. Yeah.
And he was the green guy, so he's the ones calling the plays.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So I was a little worried for the Titans for that one. But like you said, Derrick Henry, he's back to his same form. And then he also had a suit that he wore beginning to the game where he gave he had all the people who names of all the
Victims of police brutality.
Victims of police brutality, yes, on his suit. Very, very unique, very, very different. But I took the Titans in this one, and they were successful.
Herman, who would you pick?
Yeah, I had the Titans in this one too. Like Marcus said, it's just something about that second Monday night game, man. It's always dry and boring.
You should have been drinking some coffee.
Yeah, I should have got some Dunkin' Donuts or something before that game started.
They ain't not sponsored yet.
I'm just, it's your favorite. But the Titans look bad. I mean, I didn't think they looked good at all. I didn't think Henry looked that great. Marcus, you say he averaged what, 3.3 yards a carry?
3.7.
3.7. That's not going to get it done. 30. He
did have 100.
He had 116 yards on 31 carries though. So, but he wasn't. He didn't. I didn't see that power, that tenacity that he ran with last year. How he was running people over. I didn't see that. And Tannehill didn't look that great.
He got a new contract.
He got a new contract. Right. That's what I'm saying. So, if they're going to win the division, like I think I picked them to win, I believe I picked them to win the division. They're going to have to play better than that. Denver came to play. Denver, their defense really came to play. I was surprised. Like Marcus said, after they had lost Von Miller, you kind of thought, this is going to be a blowout possibly. But no, they showed up. The only reason the game was as close as it was because of the kicker. The kicker's just coming off of a surgery, and they just brought him in, I believe, this week. I don't understand why you wait until right at the end to bring him in, and now you see what you're getting. So now you're in a conundrum because he did kick the game winner, but he also missed what, 4?
3.
Three. Sorry, yeah, and an extra point. So how do you roll into next week with that?
Yeah, another point. Ryan Tannehill, he did have some good numbers. He was 29. Well, not completion percentage, but 29 and 43 for 249 yards and 2 touchdowns. So.
Yeah, he's throwing too much.
Yeah, he's throwing a lot.
Yeah, he's throwing way too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I picked Tennessee, but they're gonna have to pick it up when they start playing some better teams.
Yeah, I was with you guys. I also picked Tennessee. And you know what? It's funny too. Like I watched the whole game, and I forgot Melvin Gordon was playing.
But he got a touchdown in there.
Yeah, he got a touchdown. He actually had decent numbers: 15 times for 78 yards and a touchdown.
And he had a fumble too,
which was costly.
Yeah.
And Denver racked up 323 offensive yards. Locke looked good. 22 or 33 for 216 yards. I mean, I was kind of impressed. He kind of impressed me the same way Danny Dimes did. But Tennessee, like Herman said, they need a lot of work. I don't know, maybe because the middle linebacker wasn't there, the defense wasn't as great as I wanted it to be. But that offense, they're going to have to do something with it. I don't know. Like Herman said, I mean, Henry was running, but it wasn't spectacular. He was just like a plotter.
Yeah.
You expect him to get a bigger run, but nonetheless, they got the job done. They got the W, but it wasn't a pretty game. So what was another game, which was like one of the highlight games of last week, was the the Tampa Bay New Orleans game. You know, Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. You know, Drew Brees is 41. Tom Brady is 43. You know, this offense of this Tampa Bay team was going to light up the world. Well, not so fast. When you play these games in real life, things change. Brady came back down to earth, looking more like a regular quarterback. And I mean, even Breeze wasn't spectacular, but the offense overall was. We're going to start this one off with Mark. Mark, who'd you pick and why?
I took a dunce cap on this one, y'all. I thought the Bucs would come out on fire on this one, but clearly, New Orleans offense is potent. They got that thing in motion real good. I thought Breeze. They said they had a whole lot of motion plays in there and so forth. How many yards did Kamara end up getting in this game, too?
It wasn't a ton, but he was efficient.
He was right. He scored. He scored
Actually,
3 times.
he wasn't even their leading rusher. Latavius Murray was their leading rusher with 48
but he
yards.
scored 3 times. He scored.
Yeah, he did.
Real quick, Mark, since you don't have the dunce cap, I got something for you real quick. We'll get your dunce cap.
We can't see you, Marcus.
What do you mean you can't see me? Real quick, this for you.
Really? We'll get copyrighted. That'll be a copyright warning.
Anyway, first one of the year. Go ahead, Mark.
Anyway, but yeah, I took the Bucs in this one, and Tom Brady had a little bit of interceptions that he threw more in this game than he did in a lot of games, 2 of them. But I think that they're still early. It's still early season, but Saints did show that they were a little bit more inferior in this particular game. So I lost this one. I took the Bucs.
Marcus,
I took the New Orleans Saints.
Is it just me or Marcus not in the script?
It's just you. I can see Marcus.
You have internet problems. That's what's going on.
Go ahead.
I picked the Saints. I wasn't expecting the game we got. I was expecting a more competitive game. But I think everything will be all right in Tampa Bay. There was no off season. All that stuff they were talking about chemistry. I guess that really counted, and I kind of was like just missing that, but it really counted, and because of chemistry and continuity. Because the Saints, they came in there and just looked like they usually look, and you'd expect with all that talent that the Bucs had that they would have put up did better than they did, but it didn't happen. Like you said, Brady, he didn't throw 2 picks in one game all last year, and then he comes in here and throws 2 picks. It makes you wonder was it Winston, Jameis Winston all the time, or was it the team? So, who knows? But I think they'll get it together. Tom Brady's too good to keep on this path and this trajectory. So, like I said, it's just one game. It'll work itself out. We'll see. But I did pick the Saints. They won.
Yeah, no, that was Winston. That wasn't the team. That was all Winston. You don't have to question that at all. That was absolutely.
Yeah, Brady had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
One was all on Brady. The other was, again, just not having the continuity with the receiver, thinking the receiver's going to do one thing. He did something different. But only one of those was really bad was Brady. But I mean, Winston would have thrown about 5 in that game. So
yeah, agree about that.
I also had went with New Orleans. I thought that New Orleans was going to be the better squad. They weren't. They were good. I mean, they were impressive. They did their thing, but again, I wasn't. I don't know, as impressed. Tampa was kind of in this game for most of the game, but it was funny that y'all saw Brady run that touchdown in, and
stop saying he ran because Brady doesn't run.
He laid down into the touchdown. But that touchdown made him the oldest NFL player in NFL history to get a touchdown.
A rushing touchdown?
Well, it just says touchdown. It didn't really specify.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
How was Brett Favre when he retired?
He was younger than Brady. Yeah, he was younger than Brady.
But I mean, if you looked at the numbers, I mean, Breeze was only 18 of 30 for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns, which was kind of surprising. But they had 271 total yards. Brady was 26 of 36 with 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. So, I mean, a few things they got to clean up. I do think that Tampa's going to be a force. I don't think you can just, write them off right away. But New Orleans looked good. They looked really good. And Kamara looked a lot better than I thought he was going to. I was nervous earlier in the season because of the reports about him getting a shot, which we talked about the last time. Epidural, not the pregnant lady shot.
He was faking. I think he was faking.
Yeah, you may be right trying to get that contract because, I mean, he looked like he had no signs. I was talking to a friend of mine at work who had drafted him, and I was like, I don't know, man. I said, we'll see. If he's healthy, you're good. And then he had a chance to get Zeke and someone else, but he ended up sticking with Kamara. And I told him, yeah, it looks like you made the right decision.
He did look good. He did look good.
Yeah, he did really good. So we shall see. But I did pick New Orleans, so I got that one right. All right, Marcus, who'd you pick?
I talked about it already, didn't I? I talked about it already.
Yeah, you did.
Who did not pick? Did I get everybody?
Me.
Oh, I'm not even following our script.
I see.
Herman.
I don't even understand. I picked the Saints, and it showed, that the chemistry that Drew Brees has with Sean Payton, it's already there. It's always going to be there. They didn't look as good as they could have, probably because the Bucs defense is good and it's a division rival. But it's going to take more than one game for Tom Brady and Bruce Arians to get on the same page if they do. Brady has been in New England for a long time, and he did have, he went through a couple different OCs, but this is all different. This is a whole new offense, and Brady looked Jameis Winston-esque. Okay,
I'll stretch it.
Not really.
This many touchdowns, interception touchdowns. It does look great.
Right there, you go. That's
right.
Jameis Winston stat right there.
Yeah, but most of the time, Winston has like 3 of each, no, 4 of each, not just 2.
Hey,
and like Herman said, I mean, this is his first game in in 10 years. So
it's going to take time. It
They
is.
would have benefited from offseason. They definitely would have benefited from offseason.
Yeah.
Preseason.
But like Brian said, you got to play these games. You can't just play them on paper. So I picked New Orleans, not surprised, and got it right.
All right. So the last game we're going to talk about last week was the Green Bay Minnesota game. Again, not as an impressive game. I thought it was going to be a lot closer, but Green Bay came to play. Green Bay scored 43 points on Minnesota's defense. Minnesota scored 34. Really impressive was Aaron Rodgers. Seems like he had something to prove. He threw for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Devontae Adams, who slaughtered me in fantasy, caught 14 balls for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh man,
Was it like 40 points, 30 points? He scored
It was like 40-some points. Yeah, he scored more than Green Bay total offense was 5. They had 522 total yards of offense to Minnesota's 382. Just didn't look good. Thielen looked good. 6 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cook got 2 touchdowns, but he didn't run real spectacular. 12 times for 50 yards. Green Bay did their job. They looked impressive, and again, Rodgers looks like he's on a mission. Marcus, who'd you pick?
I picked Green Bay. I got no faith in the Kirk Cousins, but there's pretty much no defense in this game at all. Even though I feel like a lot of those points that Minnesota got in the end were like garbage points, but it was no defense at all. To me, it was probably one of the best games of the week. It was a pretty good game. I think we can put to rest the question of whether Adam Thielen is the number 1 wide receiver or not. It's obvious he is. And like you said, I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot to prove this year. A lot of people – I don't know who these people are, but I think a lot of people written him off. I haven't written him off. I still think he's one of –
I think it's his head coach, and that's who I think it is. And his front office, I think that's who's writing him off.
Yeah, but I think it may be a little bit too soon. I think Aaron Rodgers still got gas in the tank. He's still one of the premier quarterbacks in the league. Not as good as Mahomes or Lamar, but he's still top 5, top 6, maybe.
Time out. So you tell me if Aaron Rodgers was on Kansas City, you think that they would be less talented?
No, but he's not a good quarterback as Mahomes.
Okay.
At one point,
Mahomes is on the rise. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. No disrespect, but I mean, Aaron. Come on.
I mean, but like I said, I still this is Green Bay's division. I picked them to win the division, and I mean, it's only one game, but I think they proved it yesterday. It's everybody goes through them in the North, and that's pretty much what I expected.
Mark.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers came out like he's playing on a mission. He said, "You guys want to draft a young quarterback, huh? I'm gonna give you this before I get out of here." I thought so. Even though I think that the division goes through Green Bay, I did pick the Vikings on this one, so I did lose it. But this was a high-scoring game. Every time I turn around and look, there was a touchdown scored. So I wasn't really expecting that one. That was fun to watch and to see. But I still think that Minnesota's gonna be up there too. They're gonna give a fight. It just wasn't this game for them. This wasn't the game for them.
I mean, they'll be number 2 in the division. I mean, who else they got? Chicago and Detroit. Of course, they'll be number 2.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Herman, who did you have?
Yeah, I picked Minnesota in this one too. Like y'all said, there was no defense really in this game. Even though Green Bay came out there, I still believe Minnesota's going to win this division. Devontae Adams has to stay healthy. Jones has to stay healthy. Cook has to stay healthy for Minnesota. But like you said, Thielen, he had a good game. Cook had a good game. And even Kurt, his numbers weren't bad. They were 19 for 25, 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So, it was again.
Tell Marcus that again, Herman.
19 for 25, 259 yards, and 2 TDs.
32 for 44, 364 yards and 4 touchdowns. Okay.
What was Dwayne Haskins' numbers?
Who won? Who's number 1 division right now?
Anyway, I just lost my train of thought. I still believe in Minnesota, and it's just that week 1 game where we really couldn't see what was going to happen with any teams, So I got that one wrong.
Yeah. So how did you fellas do this week?
I was 4-2.
Marcus.
I got to think about it now.
Mark, do you know what you were?
2-3.
Yeah, I was 6-0.
I think
You
I
was
was
what? What did you?
You was 6-0.
No, I was 5-1. Only one just like last year. The only one I keep losing whenever I pick the Cowboys.
Don't be looking back at my picks, Herman. I said I'm 6-0.
I wasn't looking at yours. I was looking at my sheet. Okay, I keep my own tally.
You saw that side eye he gave me when I told him what I was. I'm not happy. I was
Cowboys sit down.
Yeah.
Is this your first time going 6-0?
Probably.
So.
Yeah, more than likely, because the season's gonna get crazier. I mean, a lot of injuries going on last year, and for real, man, the theme of this whole first week for me was no defense. Hopefully the defense will catch up to these offenses, but it was a lot of these games. It just wasn't no defense.
Oh, there was a good Washington football team had a race.
I said for the most part, you tough guy.
That was no good defense.
8 sacks, 3 turnovers. Washington football team, good defense.
He was down 17-0.
And we came back, shut them out in the second half. Once again, 8 sacks, 3 turnovers.
Hey, when did he start playing with that team?
What's that? What now?
Mark, let him get his joy, because you won't hear him talk about that team for the rest of the season.
So let's hear about the WTF team.
WFT.
The funny thing about that game too is, like, I'm sitting there watching and I'm laughing. I'm like, the Redskins are gonna win this game.
What?
I forgot to bet this guy my job on this game. I lost $20. I didn't realize
Why would you bet on the Eagles?
Bet on the Eagles?
I don't know. I just he's a Redskin fan, so I just I'm sorry. He's a Washington football team fan. So I just
you can't say that.
You can't say that
Yeah, I don't know.
speaking of that game,
we're actually gonna go double or nothing. So I almost lost $40.
Carson Wentz, they got to do something with the offensive line.
Yeah, he's not going to survive the
I
season.
mean,
and he's trying to play superhero over there. He won't duck. He you knows he didn't duck the ball down to the wide receiver, or the running back or nothing. He was always trying to get down the field. So you keep playing hero ball with that offensive line, you will not last the season.
I mean, he just. It seemed like they want the Cowboys to win the division. The way because they're not going to protect that dude at all. I mean, that's just terrible.
Yeah. All right, so we went through our picks, and now we're going to go through our picks for this week's games coming up. Again, we normally pick the primetime games and then pick a couple games that we feel are fairly competitive. The first game we got going on this week is Thursday. The Bengals, who again, surprised us last week on how well they played with Joe Burrow, go to play the Browns, who played awful against Baltimore last week. But Vegas is actually giving the Browns 8.5. I'm sorry, they're giving the Bengals 8.5 in this game. So they're thinking they're more than a touchdown.
On the road?
The road.
It's the Browns.
Well, no, the the Bengals are going to the Browns.
Yeah, that's what I said. You said that.
Yeah, the Bengals are getting 8.5.
Oh.
The Browns are giving up 8.5. So we'll start this one off. I'll go first. I think the Browns bounce back. I think it's in their house. Don't give me that face, Marcus. I think it's in their house. I think they were thoroughly embarrassed by Baltimore. I think the defense will show up a little better against the rookie. I don't think it'll be no slaughter or no crush, but I think when everything is all said and done, the Browns are going to get this victory. Herman, who you got?
I'm going with the Bengals. After I watched Joe Burrow and I watched the Bengals, some of that game, and the Browns are just trash. So I'm going with the Bengals.
Marcus?
I'm going with the Bengals. Like Herman said, Browns are trash. The Baker Mayfield experiment is going to be over after this year. OBJ is going to be kicked out after the end of this year.
They're shopping him too.
Huh?
They're shopping him.
They should be. He dropped what? I know he dropped at least one. He dropped more than one. He dropped. I mean, come on.
That game got boring quick. I turned that joint off.
He was so overrated.
I mean, who's overrated?
OBJ.
Yeah, it seemed like he is. I mean, I know Baltimore got a good defense, but come on, man. Yeah, I mean, if you're supposed to be the star wide receiver, when the ball is thrown, you're supposed to catch difficult balls. He's not catching difficult balls no more. Come on, you're not gonna last. And like Herman said, Joe Burrows, he showed me a lot last week. I don't think it's gonna be no blowout.
It'll be a close game.
AJ Green looked healthy too.
He does look healthy.
But AJ Green healthy and Joe Burrow's in there, and it's just Cincinnati's a better team than the Browns. For all you want to put all that on paper, yeah, they have all that talent. It's obviously they don't know how to utilize that talent. The Browns are trash. And I know it was against the Ravens, but still, Bengals are going there. They'll win.
Mark?
I think there's two teams out there right now that's tanking for Trevor Lawrence, and that is the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. I think, and if it wasn't for the controversy pass interference call on AJ Green, the Bengals would have been in a great spot to win that game Sunday. I'm taking the Bengals on this one, y'all.
Oh!
You got your dust cap?
Nope. But I'll have one. I don't need it, but I'll have one just in case.
I'll bring it to you.
You're going to need that dust cap.
So the Sunday nighter this week is a pretty exciting game we got going on. We got the New England Patriots going down to Seattle to play the Seahawks. Patriots look good, looked pretty decent. They ran Cam a lot. Came out with their first victory. Seahawks look phenomenal. Wilson is like the best deep ball thrower in the league. I mean, it ain't even funny anymore.
Pretty, yes.
Very, very pretty ball. We're going to lead this one off with Herman. Herman, who you think is going to win this one?
I'm going with the home team, going with Seattle. I'm not buying into the Patriots right now because I felt like I was watching Cam in his first couple years with the Panthers, and that's the offense that they're running right now. Cam's not going to stay healthy. He's going to get beat up. We already know. I mean, he got beat up when he first came into the league running this type of offense, and he was younger. He's older now, and it's going to be more wear and tear on that body.
He's what, 30, 31?
Yeah, I give him about 5 games before he probably gets hurt running that type of offense. I was not impressed at all. I mean, he barely threw the ball. It was just a little dink and dunk throws and a lot of run plays and zone reads. I'm not feeling that. Cam is a more developed quarterback than that now, and they're dumbing him down. So I'm going with the Seahawks. When they get up against a real offense, I don't think that they can keep up with that.
Mark?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Herman. That the Patriots look like the Panthers the way they was running the offense to me. Cam is a little bit too flamboyant right now. He needs to humble himself. With that said, they going up to Seattle. I don't think they're gonna win that one. I'm taking Seattle in this one, and I see why Cam got his chain snatched off his neck too.
So, Mark, you didn't like his pregame yellow outfit?
Oh my gosh!
No, he looked like a clown. He looks like a clown. He's too flamboyant, man. He especially for New England and Belichick. I'm pretty sure he's gonna tell him to kind of tone that down at some point.
I mean, what's it all for? It's just for attention. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, I agree with you, fellas. I like the Seahawks in this particular game. I think Russell Wilson is on the MVP parade right now, trying to get that this year. I don't think that the Patriots are well enough on defense to slow them down enough to help Cam keep this game going. Now, the one thing I will tell you is that the Patriots they don't play the same offense every time. They game plan for whatever defense they're playing against. So there's no guarantee that Cam's going to continue to run or be dumbed down. They may open it up this game. You just don't know.
That ain't happening.
I just don't see them having enough firepower. I mean, they got a 34-year-old wide receiver, Edelman, who's their best player. And I don't know, just the offense, like I said, just didn't look good. None of the running backs look good. So I'm going with the Seahawks. Hey, Marcus, is your nurse friend going to interrupt the show today?
No, she's already home.
She's already in the house.
Just curious. All right, so who do you got in this game then?
I don't appreciate that question either. Thank you very much. I'm taking the Seahawks. I gotta agree with you, Brian, over Herman a little bit. I think this offense is going to change. They're like you said, Belichick is very adaptive. He doesn't play the same offense, every game. But it's also funny that what's the McDaniels? He was the coach for Denver when they had Tim Tebow there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's very familiar with this running style of quarterback. So I think they'll adapt and it won't be the same every game. But I got to go with the Seahawks. I really feel like Russell Wilson Seahawks are one of the premier teams in the league right now. Like you said, he's just like he's aiming for that MVP for this season. Even though they don't have an offensive line, and Russell's always running for his life. I think the Seahawks are too good. Russell and the offense, they look spectacular to me on Sunday, and I think they'll look like that all season. So I'm picking the Seahawks.
Was that mine or was that just Marcus's mic that sounded funny?
No.
Is that just me? It sounded like Marcus was going like in and out a little bit.
He might have been a little bit.
Was I going in and out?
Sounded like maybe it was just me.
I think it did.
Right,
I think it's because I hear a weird noise, but go ahead.
All right, so we're gonna get a bit moving because we're a little over time. We have the Saints versus the Raiders Monday night. Drew Brees is coming to town. Marcus, who do you like in this game and why?
I mean, Saints. I don't need to say more than that. Saints.
Herman?
I'm going with the Saints. Same thing. I mean, the Raiders are going to give it a run, but the Saints are just jumping right back in where they left off. They may hurt a little bit because Michael Thomas is going to be out.
Thomas?
Is he going to be out? They said he had the MRI. And
he has a high ankle sprain.
Okay.
How long is he out? How long does that usually last? A couple weeks?
High ankle sprains they're funny. They're funny. They're not.
I think he still got Weber still.
They
Oh
do.
yeah. Oh,
So that's what. Yeah, they got enough to beat the Raiders.
Well, I'm definitely starting Emmanuel Sanders this weekend.
oh yeah. That
Yeah.
fantasy tip.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
Mark, who do you got?
I think the Raiders are going to give them a little competition in here, but when it's all said and done, oh, when those Saints come marching in, oh, when those Saints come marching in, I'm taking the Saints.
I agree with you guys. I don't agree with that. I think that the Raiders are going to be in this game. They struggled last week against the Panthers, and almost lost that game. So I think that the Saints are just the cream of the crop in the NFC right now. I think they'll have no problems going down to Raiders' new stadium and blessing it. Give me this Saints.
Speaking about the Raiders, real quick, did y'all see John Gruden's hair? That dude is.
Did they cut it? Like, did somebody cut it or something?
Oh no!
It must have been some type of prank or something, because like the whole one half of his head looked like it was shaved or something. It was crazy.
Dude, you need
Was this like because I thought he had a hat on during the game.
Yeah,
He took it off.
He took it off, and man, he should never have taken it off.
Wow.
He looked like Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. All patched up and stuff.
All right, so the next game we're going to talk about, we probably go pretty quick on this particular one. We have the Ravens headed down to the Texans. Texans already 0-1 against Kansas City. They got a tough schedule in the beginning. The Ravens coming in hot as can be. I don't think the Texans have anything for the Ravens defensively, so give me the Ravens. Herman, who do you like?
I got the Ravens. Deshaun Watson, please stay safe.
Marcus.
I agree with him. I got the Ravens. Deshaun, slide, fall down. Don't try to do nothing spectacular.
I mean, it might not even be a bad week to go ahead and say, your hammy is sore, and go ahead and let the backup take one.
So what is that? I hate to see this game because I love Deshaun. Go ahead and take yourself out the game early. You won these.
Right, tap out, bro. Tap out.
Mark, help me with these fools.
I think it's unanimous. It's the Ravens, man. I don't see tight. I don't see.
You don't think Deshaun should tap out or none of that, do you?
No, he can stay in there. He just need to protect himself. That's for sure.
For the first time he goes down, just.
All right, so the final game we're going. Oh, sorry, got a gnat in my room or something. Final game we're going to talk about are the Rams going down to the lowly Eagles. Again, Rams looked good against the Cowboys last week. Mark, who do you got?
The Rams offense looked like they're better. Wentz is having problems here. I'm gonna take the Rams in this one, y'all.
Marcus.
I'm going with the Rams. Eagles, Aaron Donald going against that offensive line. Come on, man. Carson Wentz is going down. And I'm making a prediction. The Rams play the entire NFC East?
Yes.
They're going to sweep the NFC East. I'm making that prediction right now. They're going to sweep it. So I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah, I agree with Marcus on actually both counts. I think that the Rams will sweep the NFC East, and I think the Rams will win this game. And he did kind of steal a little bit of my thunder. Aaron Donald against that porous offensive line. I mean, it's not going to even be funny. Give me the Rams and give me the Rams big. Herman? Yeah,
I'm going with the Rams. I feel sorry for Carson Wentz this week.
You won't leave me alone.
Enough said. Rams.
All right. Well, we apologize for going a little bit over, but we appreciate you guys watching us. Marcus, get us out of here.
Before we leave, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. Help us get those views and those likes up. You can catch us on our Facebook group, The Live Game. You can catch us on Instagram at official The Live Game. You can catch us on Twitter at The Live Game 3. We will be back next week on our regular scheduled time and day. So, the typical bat time and typical bat channel. We are out. Everyone have a good week. Peace.
Hey.
Be safe.